I'm Cary Weldy, the executive producer, creator, writer, and director for The Science of Ink, my new documentary film. And before I launched my design and construction business 20 years ago, I ran marketing, branding, advertising, and PR for Fortune 500 companies. And we advertising executives know how words, colors, shapes, images, and impressions affect your behavior and your future. They impact your life even without you knowing it. But the game has completely changed. New technologies that emerged during the past 20 years, like the cell phone, has resulted in a new global crisis. We are now facing this new pandemic of art and information overload that produces extraordinary amounts of stress. Today, we hold art in the palms of our hands, and that produces big problems too, as energies are stronger the closer we are to them. We are now living in one of the most widespread crises that impacts nearly every single human being on our planet, especially our children. And yes, these new tools like our smartphones and computers are useful, but the challenge is that this pandemic of art information overload is not getting a lot of attention because it's glamorous. Media is glamorous, video games are entertaining, watching TikTok videos is fun, taking selfies and posting them is exciting. But when we move beyond the glamour of art, the truth paints a much darker picture. Research shows a distinct connection between the avalanche of art and information we are now pummeled with and soaring anxiety levels among adults and our children, which have reached an all-time high. A 2015 study revealed that 19% of teens use electronic devices 5 hours or more each day, and they were 70% more likely to have suicidal thoughts or actions than those reporting only 1 hour of use. Today, it's much worse. The amount of negative words is unprecedented. Nearly 60% of our children are bullied online. Depression has skyrocketed. Suicide rates among teens are now the leading cause of death in many states. And with teenage girls, suicide rates have tripled in 4 years. I have spent 7 years researching for this film, and the more that I dug into these studies, the more alarmed I became. So this film has a special place in my heart because I can't sit still and watch our children and adults suffering from stress, anxiety, depression, and soaring rates of suicide. That's why I'm producing The Science of Ink, what I believe to be one of the most important documentary films ever made. My goal is to not only shine the light on this new pandemic of art and information overload, but to also share how the elements of art can be used to make our lives better. Audiences around the world will benefit tremendously from this film by learning how to use colors, shapes, words, and images to create a more positive future for the relationships, finances, moods, and health. If you are also moved by the urgency and message of The Science of Ink, then join me with your financial support to help me and my team complete this important film. Your contribution and positive energy will make a big difference in the lives of our children, families, and friends. Your gift will be tax deductible since we have recently been accepted for fiscal sponsorship by From the Heart Productions, a 501c3 organization. Thank you for your time, which I know is valuable. And please follow us in the progress of our film on our social media listed at the end of this clip. And now I'm proud to share with you a brief sample of our film, The Science of Ink. Enjoy.
On March 4th, 2001, Fox Television launched a new series called The Lone Gunman, a spin-off from The X-Files. The pilot episode depicted a terrorist plot to hijack a jetliner and to fly it into the World Trade Center Tower in New York City. And 6 months later, it happened.
American 11, are you trying to call?
The cockpit is not answering.
Oh my God, so both towers are now.
It wasn't the first time that images seemed to mysteriously create our future. a 1997 episode of The Simpsons alluded to the 9/11 fateful attacks. The show was also seemingly prophetic for the US presidential election 16 years before it took place.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
The show also predicted that Disney would buy 20th Century Fox 19 years before it happened. In fact, The Simpsons also portrayed who would win the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. For decades, images around us have affected our behavior to the point where reality literally replays itself in the same exact manner of the image or scene. Advertisers have known for years that if the image is replicated enough, the chances for the person to actually carry out that image increases dramatically.
Taste the feeling.
Is it possible that Oscar Wilde was correct? Do images, even our tattoos, create our future?
One thing that happened after I had this tattoo is I started meeting people named Sylvia everywhere I went. Whether it was a summer festival or a restaurant, I was constantly running into people named Sylvia. And not just named Sylvia, but named Sylvia with a spelling similar to mine.
Join us on this incredible journey as we explore the science of art and tattoos and how the elements of art dramatically affect our lives in hidden but profound ways.
Take color, for example. Black has long been considered the power color in fashion, but a number of studies show that wearing black is not such a good idea. So why do we wear black? The color black feels powerful because it is powerful, but it isn't the power we want. In all of nature, nearly everything is in color, and what is in black is connected to either death or destruction. So what's a great color for success and winning? It's red, hands down. In sports across the globe, the #1 winning color is red, by far. And in sports, most games and races are won by the very slimmest of margins. For thousands of years, feng shui masters have known about the secret power of red. It has an expansive quality to it, enlarging the energy already there. In fact, red has been shown to be the color of attraction. A number of studies found that wearing red attracts more people to us, even when the color red isn't visible. When waitresses wore red, they made 25% more in tips. When they wore red lipstick, they made 50% more money. So why does art profoundly affect our relationships, our money, and our health? This is about the law of resonance. The law of resonance says that if you have an energy field near you, then you will start resonating with that energy and begin to take it on.
So what do you want to do? Whoa, that's crazy. Man, we've been spending way too much time together.
The longer you are near that field of energy, the more energy you will absorb, and then you become it. It's like being near someone who's depressed. Within a short period of time, you'll begin to feel it, and then become more sad yourself. So energy is contagious. Being around someone for a long period of time changes our biology, altering even the way we look. And it isn't just colors that dramatically affect us. The words around us affect us in big ways too. Consider our names, for instance, where numerous studies show that our names affect our career choices, our grades in school, where we live, and even whom we marry. Researchers found that if we share a first initial with the name of a hurricane, we are more likely to donate to relief funds for that hurricane. This coincides with research identifying the name letter effect, which demonstrates that people prefer the initial of their first name over other letters. In 1998, for example, scientists discovered that people treat strangers nicer than usual who happen to share their birthdays, but aren't aware of that birthday. Performance in school is also affected, where students with names that begin with C or D have lower GPAs than those with names beginning with A or B. Shapes also dramatically affect our lives because we go into resonance with them too. For example, sharp angles have been shown in multiple studies to create aggression. One study noted that downward pointing V's are perceived as threatening, while curvilinear forms are perceived as pleasant. Researchers also found that simple V-shaped images resulted in brain patterns and behavioral responses that were similar to negative facial expressions. Could this be why multiple studies show that people with more than 3 tattoos are likely to have more aggression? Our mood is also affected by shape. A 2016 study found that most people feel better in rooms with curved edges and rounded corners than with sharp-edged rectangular rooms. One tattooed client experienced sharp, chronic pain in his left foot after getting 5 daggers inked on his leg, all pointing down towards that foot.
I have pain in my left foot. I don't know what causes it.
Oscar Wilde was correct. Every color, line, shape, and symbol in the art around you is impacting your relationships, finances, and health. With the elements of art at your fingertips, your future is in the palm of your hands. So join us on this exciting adventure where you will discover how the science of ink can work for you.